investment in innovation. I think you have to think about the changing nature of your business model, and the people that are within that business. I think if history tells you anything, that a lot of the publishers were slow to see the future, slow to invest in distributing their content across multiple platforms, and that's not going to stop. Where obviously, Jeff was talking about is continuing to look at that investment into other platforms as we get connected TVs and more connected devices. Well, again, lack of investment and lack of foresight in terms of where the market's going. I think equally it's a very challenging environment for all publishers, because big legacy business publishers have huge expenses and costs just to generate the content that they're doing today. And it's very easy for new publishers to start in their bedroom on platforms that are very accessible. So I think the challenges are continue to invest in your current business and think about your business model. For years, people have been talking about at what point does digital start to pay back? Well, I think it's starting to. So there's a lot of businesses in the industry now that are starting to see very healthy revenues from digital. I've worked at businesses where that delta had already been reached, where digital had overtaken traditional media revenue. I don't think it's just publishers and advertisers. I think it's an industry-wide thing. It's marketeers as well have to be part of that equation. I think less ads, better ads is a step in the right direction. I think publishers explaining to consumers exactly what the consumer is getting into in terms of the exchange of data, and actually more importantly, the majority of services and the majority of content is now free. And you as a consumer make that decision to consume that content, and there has to be some exchange. So if you're not going to exchange, you're not going to have that content. And I think ad blockers are not necessarily about that exchange of data, but it's about it's really about the industry has taken some liberties around too many ads served to consumers, so they're now starting to put barriers out. But I think the industry, if it's clear, it should address itself. And actually, I think the industry is already starting as we see anti-ad blockers coming online, and that is to prevent consumers getting access to free content without that fair trade. So again, I think publishing has a very healthy future if it embraces technology, and it embraces technology and understands that each of the platforms have distinctive roles, and that actually generic content. So historically, what you've seen is publishers just sharing generic content and not thinking about the channel. Okay, so mobile is very different to tablet, is very different to laptop, and the things that you can do on each of those platforms is very different. So mobile comes with almost built-in location capabilities, and therefore why aren't you thinking about location and content as well? So I think it's going to change as well, because there's more and more connected devices come online. We've just seen the launch of smartwatches, and I think content that's created for smartwatches is going to be very different from mobile screens. And I also think that the way that people want to consume content will become more linear. So as you travel from your TV screen to your mobile device, to your smartwatch, and to your other connected devices, I think you're going to want to take elements of the content with you across that journey. So undoubtedly they're omnipresent at the moment. I think one of your slides talks about a duopoly. It definitely feels like that. For a company like Bliss, that it has proved to be a bit of an advantage, because our key customers are looking to spend their revenue with a wider set of partners and not just with the two giants. The other side of the question, I think in 10 years' time, it's unlikely we'll be talking about both Facebook and Google. I think if anything shows, there will be companies that will come along that will disrupt their businesses. And some of those companies are being built today in a garage just like they were 10, 12 years ago. So undoubtedly there are going to be publishers today that are probably here that won't be here. But successful publishers will have figured out how to make money out of their core business. they'll also figured out how to make money out of their digital business, and they'll also probably have started to figure out a number of brand extensions that are fueled by data that are also incredibly profitable as well. So long term, I think publishers are going to go through a bit of a change, naturally, because their business model has been pretty, as you know, as we've spoken about, pretty disrupted. But I think that change will start to settle. Certainly, again, referencing Reuters, I think they've started to see how they can bring on different and new audiences that are going to be profitable and are going to give their brand a new lease of life.